Hello, I'm Haley, and this is Taya, and welcome to Haley and Taya Rip Up Supernatural and a Start Over, and also sometimes talk about other stuff, a podcast.
Also known as HATRUSA, and today we are talking about Season 2, Episode 15, Tall Tales. It originally aired on February 15th, 2007, and was written by John What?
Could you hear that?
Haley?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I muted because my mom was talking to me. Did it not
Oh,
mute?
okay. I think I just heard part of it.
Oh, that's weird. Sorry.
No worries. I don't even know what I was saying. It was written by John Shaban, who has done some other ones that we've seen, and we haven't liked most of them. So this is a plot twist. Oh,
it's
he
an
only wrote
extreme
one more
plot
after
twist.
this.
And Bradford May, the director, I checked, only directs this episode, and that's it.
So John has written Skin, which we didn't like, Hookman, which we were disappointed in, Scarecrow, which we only liked because of Meg, The Benders, which was really, really bad, Dead Man's Blood, which wasn't good, Everybody Loves a Clown, which was super weird and bad, Croatoan, which was super disappointing, this one, which we loved, and Folsom Prison Blues,
which we have not seen yet.
And I don't remember.
I don't either.
So, John, you have a really bad track record, but this one was good.
Yeah, but somehow this one came through. I will talk more about that during readings. Today, I don't have any notable content warnings. There's a creepy professor, but nothing past kissing happens. And the kissing
Plus, it's like, I mean, he's
consensual.
nothing on screen. Because it's like, all he's doing, he's cheating on his wife, which isn't great. But she's not even his student.
Yeah,
so
and
it's not really like...
Even, like, she's not his student, and she's, I mean, technically not real. And also, if she was real, is an adult. So...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my summary. I kind of have a long summary written down, because this episode was a lot, but mostly because of how much it bounced around. And I don't know if I captured that well enough in the summary. Taya, you'll have to let me know.
Okay.
So, the episode enters on a shot of a church, which comes to be known as an on-campus church. I don't actually know if it was a church, but I think it was. It looked like a church. Might have been the hall that we talked about. It wasn't a church. All right, that's funny. A young girl approaches an older professor and gets him to agree to office hours. She admits she isn't a student. Professor starts flirting and kisses her when, her face starts rotting and she spooks him. We see a janitor leave the building below, and the professor's body promptly falls to the ground behind him, killing him instantly. Cutting to present, Sam and Dean are in a motel room as usual. Sam studying up on the case, and Dean in bed eating what appears to be poutine, a very important detail. Sam gets frustrated with his music and lack of motivation, and they bicker. Bobby shows up. We are told that they called him for help on this wackadoodle case, and this is where things get fun. A majority of this episode is told through flashbacks, narrated by Sam and Dean with alternating views of how things occurred. First, we are told about them finding the obituary of the professor and investigating due to rumors of a ghost. They speak to two college students in a bar. Dean flirts with a girl, may or may not have made out with her. Dean and Sam tell it in two different ways. They check the professor's office and meet the janitor that found the professor dead, watched him die, but didn't watch him die, whatever. They speak with him. There are no ghost traces. They leave. They tell Bobby that supposedly that night a college frat boy, the boy that they'd spoken to at the bar, is abducted by aliens. He claims to have been probed and that he had to slow dance with the alien, but nobody believes him. And then they discover a connection. Both of these victims have kind of been dicks. The third victim is also a dick. A research scientist on campus who tests on animals gets chewed up by a sewer gator. Some brother pranks ensue. They put together that all of these situations involve urban legends coming true, and Bobby immediately points out that they must be dealing with a trickster, which he has discovered pretty early on into him being there because of the way that Dean and Sam are interacting with each other. With some thinking, they pin it on the janitor because he's the only human who seems to be on ground zero. Blah, blah, blah. They hunt him down, and he tries to trick Dean with some prostitutes. Dean begrudgingly refuses the prostitutes, and after a long fight, they kill the janitor. Dean, Sam, and Bobby leave. Dean and... Oh, wait. Oh, also, he summons... I don't know if summons is the right word. He conjures up a serial killer. That's part of the fight. Dean and Bobby leave. Dean, Sam, and Bobby leave. Dean and Sam try and fail to issue each other apologies. As they drive away, we go back to the theater and see that the trickster is not actually dead.
Cool. I don't have anything to add. I mean, he's just standing over his dead body eating a chocolate bar.
You know. The real good shit. So, as for my notes, my first note is that I absolutely adore the recap of their little pranks back and forth. The recap for this episode was just Dean and Sam and their, like, prank wars on each other because of the nature of this episode being a trickster episode. Spoiler alert, it's not a trickster. And I will be referring to the trickster as who we know who he is because we have seen the show. The trickster is actually Archangel Gabriel. It's fine.
But before they get to that point, they're going to call him Loki for, like, at least 3 seasons or... Not 3. It's, like, 2 seasons or something. They call him Loki, and then they're like, just kidding.
Yeah, they think that he's a trickster god. He's not. But we know that he is. So, not. So, yeah. My next note is, when you're a freak-ass professor who hits on young students, but you get hashtag pranked and then fall to your death. I think that more freak-ass professors should have this demise. Then I have Dean is so funny turning the radio up instead of down. What a silly guy. Followed by 3 pizza boxes? Boys. Because when they're in their motel, we do see next to the door on top of the fridge, there's 3 fucking pizza boxes. And
my question is, how much food do they need? Because, and like, how long have they been here?
Right.
Because Sam comments later on Dean's food being disgusting in the fridge, and it's like...
They can't have been there for longer than a week.
Literally, how is it that gross? What are you doing?
Ugh, it's so funny. My next one is Bobby, because I love him. When he showed up on screen, Taya was like, we literally saw him yesterday, because we recorded the last episode, spoiler alert, yesterday as of when we are recording this one. But I was like, yeah, but I love him. I love him so much. Then I have, when the professor for ethics and morality is unethical and immoral, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. I would love for this to be an actual ghost TBH. I hope it is my next note, which obviously it wasn't. It wasn't. It was just an urban legend ghost. But I love ghosts, and everybody should know that by now.
We do.
Yeah. Then I have Dean taking purple nurple shots. Very funny. I don't know why I wrote that note. Maybe,
because Dean argues that he would never drink something called a purple nurple, but then they continue to reference it throughout the episode.
Right. So, maybe. Also, I didn't know that it was a real thing until right now. But also, I've seen this episode before, so I knew it then, but forgot about it promptly. Buddy's in the way of my computer. I would love to tell you my next note, but I can't because his big furry ass is in the way.
I guess the podcast is over.
My next note is Starla. That isn't her real name. It can't be. Followed by we love a cut-in, and then a conversation between Dean and Sam. Dean saying her name wasn't Starla. Sam saying, then what was it? And Dean immediately being stumped and saying, well, I don't know, but it wasn't Starla.
Something classy. And therefore, that actress, because they chose, for some reason, 2 different actresses for that scene, is named Classy Actress on IMDb.
Obsessed with that. Obsessed.
Or Classy Lady, whatever.
I then have Dean kiss number 4, because if you've remembered, we are keeping track of how many kisses each of the boys get, and this is Dean's 4th. Which is kind of embarrassing because I think in the last episode is when I pointed out that we haven't had a kiss in a while.
It was either the last one or the one we before, since we're filming or recording 2 in a row. Yeah.
Then I have obsessed with Sam just saying blah 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 and Dean being like, yeah, well that's how you sound, which is so funny. It's the subversion of like younger sibling, older sibling. Sometimes with them is just. Dean's lack of maturity. Aces. Bobby, don't compare them to a married couple. Please don't give them fodder, is my next note. because I didn't like that. But then I have Dean chipmunking these chocolates when they're in the professor's office. There's like chocolates or candies or something, and Sam recounts it as Dean just fucking shoving his face with them and chipmunking them, and it was pretty funny. I liked it.
I hated it.
Then I
don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it. That's fair. I have that I love Gabriel's smile. He's so goofy, funny, quirky. Followed by Dean's porn habit makes his entrance.
Oh, God.
Because it does. The filming of this episode is just so fun is my next note, which, Taya, would you like to mention what you pointed out earlier about the Trickster episodes?
Oh, any episodes with the Trickster, aside from, because I don't believe he makes an appearance in The French Mistake, tend to be filmed a little bit differently. They tend to be the ones where they play the most with style, aside from they'll sometimes do interesting camera angles for other episodes, but they don't really play as much with like breaking the fourth wall, or in this they have the what is it called? Freeze frame.
Yes.
My brain turned off. They only kind of do it with the Trickster episodes, which these episodes are generally what people like best. Mm-hmm. Like, these are like some of the people's favorite episodes because they tend to be a little more goofy, a little more fun.
Us
the only
included.
other one I can think of, other than The French Mistake, which is unique because it is explicitly like, it's in universe but not in universe.
Yeah.
You know? The only other one I can think of is the rabbit foot one, because Sam just kind of has some goofy moments. But there's definitely like they bring a different energy, I guess, to how they film and edit these Trickster episodes, which is fun, but it stands out pretty significantly. Mm-hmm. Because people like these episodes because they're a little bit of a break. Like, even the Mystery Shack, which is, like, it is arguably very depressing because you're watching Dean die a bunch, and the whole point is that Sam needs to give up and let his brother die. But it's a fun episode. And since the majority of Supernatural is arguably, like, not super fun, like, they'll have one-liners, but it's not like usually lighthearted or goofy. No. It does leave you with a weird tone issue when you're watching them in a row, especially if you're like us. We are not binging them, but we're watching them weekly, and then for these two, we just watched the last episode yesterday. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, my brain is like, well, we were just talking, like, they ended the last episode with Dean and Sam arguing about, like, Sam wants Dean to kill him if he becomes evil, and Dean refuses to do that. Mm-hmm. And now we're, like, goofing around with, like, pranks and stuff, and it's like, it's a little weird, especially since we're in the second half of this season now, and that tends to be the darker half of the season.
Right. And unfortunately, tonal shift never gets better in this show because the show's crazy.
Yeah. They don't know how to really do a fun filler, not even filler, like just like a fun, lighter episode, because all their other episodes are so heavy.
Yeah. Yep.
And even this one has like some heavier moments, I guess, arguably, like some of the content is a little bit heavier, but like then they're just goofing around with prostitutes.
Right.
So, I don't know.
My next note is, would love to slow dance with an alien. And then the Sam hug scene. Iconic. Fucking iconic. Mm-hmm. I realized...
There's a lot of scenes from this episode that if you have not seen Supernatural before, you will have seen GIFs from this episode on Tumblr.
Yep. It's just... good scene. Dean being like, no, that's what you said. And Sam's just like, I literally didn't, though. That's not how I am. And Dean's like, yes, it is. Which brings me to our next note. Okay, gay joke. Yeah, got it. It wouldn't be Supernatural without one. And then, this is perhaps my favorite part of the episode. Dean refers to something as being poetic, or being like a poem, and then says, more like a limerick. Which, okay, coming back around to Dean secretly being a huge literary fan, because he knows what a fucking limerick is. I don't know what a limerick is. And I'm an English major.
I'm not sure if Dean truly knows.
Right, but he knows at least the name of it. And I think
guess that's fair.
For our rewrite, remember, I forget what it was that he referenced. Was it some Shakespeare play?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't remember. But really important for our rewrite, I think that it is. We had a little Yoda speech there, but it's fine. My next note is urban legends coming to life is fun. I feel like it happens more than once, i.e. the Bloody Mary episode. Granted, that was, like, not exactly the same, but it's that, like, it plays
the first
on
Ghostfacers episode.
Yeah.
Technically.
I just like when it plays on urban legends.
Mm-hmm.
My next note is my second favorite part of this episode, which is very important. Sam Winchester has a monogrammed money clip. He's fucking funny. And the fact of the matter is, like, at first I was like, okay, well, maybe this is a trickster thing. But, like, Sam wasn't like, that money clip isn't mine. He was like, give me back my money.
Oh, I just assumed the trickster had stolen it.
Right, but he didn't say anything. Okay. He didn't say anything about the money clip.
Oh,
though.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
He recognized it was his money because it had the money clip on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Sam just has a monogrammed money clip, a monogrammed silver money clip. Huh? I don't think that's ever talked about or referenced ever again. But this was enough. It was so good. My next note is Dean and Sam wrestling was a good sibling moment. Because, oh my god, wait. Guys, I forgot to do the death count before my notes. Hi. Our death count today was 2, both technically on screen, though the mauling one was not so much on screen as it was that started on screen. Yeah, that's all. Okay, back to the notes. My next note is Gabriel loves 3 things. Dogs, food, and women. Very fair. Dean saying I dig your style. Honestly, me too. I do love Gabriel's style. And by that, I mean that I love Gabriel. Does wooden stake actually kill Trickster? ? We'll go over that later. I think. I don't know. And then I have, if the Trickster were actually dead, the bed and disco ball would have been gone, which is something that I noticed while we were watching. Because, like, the prostitutes go away. The serial killer goes away. But the bed and disco ball does not go away. And I think that
mean that they were just there then? Like, you just had them there?
I think either it means that they were just there, or it was the show's way of hinting that the Trickster wasn't actually dead.
Haley, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they thought that through intentionally.
Yeah, I don't either. But I wish they did. I wish that the show was better, which is why this podcast exists.
Okay. All right, cool.
Finally, my last note is Dean and Sam are so incapable of emotion that they can't manage to properly say sorry to each other.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. So, Taya, your lore library today.
All right, cool. So this one's a little bit weird because, like we said before, this is not actually a trickster god. This is not a trickster, and it's not a god. This is Gabriel. He's an archangel. However, they're going to assume he's a trickster for this episode, and then when he comes back and they realize he's not dead, they are going to assume he's Loki. They are going to assume he's Loki for a hot second, and then they're going to find out he is Gabriel. And then in season 13, which I have not watched, you find out Gabriel did know Loki and killed Loki.
Yeah. And
pretended to be Loki. So, this one's a little weird. So, I'm not using real lore for this because if we're being honest, I don't know where I would begin there. Because you have the biblical angels who, I don't know if the Bible actually talks about if they can die.
Right.
I don't know if that's addressed. In Supernatural, obviously they can be killed, but they, as far as I know, can only be killed by a few things. It's like, hold on, I had it open. I just need to find there's so much on this page. Advanced pyrokinesis. Shut up. So they can be killed by an angel blade, angel killing bullets, angel swords, Archangel Blades, Holy Fire, Death Itself, Death Scythe, and some other things. Holy shit. Most of them Leviathans, higher tier demons, and then, like, just various forms of angelic weapons. So a stake could not kill them. And then Loki is actually killed by one of Gabriel's sword, which is a wooden sword.
Huh.
But I don't know if it's crafted specifically for Loki.
That's so weird.
Norse mythology is a little weird because, like, the gods can die, but, like, what kills them is, like, kind of depends, you know, right? Like, Balder is killed by, I think, mistletoe. Because, like, mistletoe wasn't around when everything else in the world promised not to kill Balder. It's a little confusing. I love Norse mythology.
That's
but,
funny.
Like, as part of, like, a punishment for Loki, he, like, constantly has snake venom, like, dripped into his eyes as he's, like, constantly blinded, I think. And Odin is killed by Lucifer. So it's just, like, they're kind of just smashing things together and being like, this could probably kill them, right? Right?
Obsessed.
So I don't actually know how true a stake of wood dipped in the blood of a trickster victim, which, by the way, they didn't say in the episode. If you watch the episode, there's clearly something on the stake that they use. There's, like, something dark on it. They don't tell you that it's blood of a victim.
No.
It says that in the trivia section. Oddly, this article explains one thing that goes unmentioned in the episode itself. The stakes used to kill a trickster must be dipped in the blood of one of its victims. So, like, I don't know why they didn't convey that information, but that is just not in the episode, if you were curious. But I don't actually know how true this is that this could kill a trickster, because the known tricksters are, and I don't think I'm going to be able to pronounce one of these correctly, unfortunately. Hold on, I'll look it up. But it is Loki, who does show up, right? It's Anansi, who does not show up in the show, but is mentioned, and then shows up in a tie-in, like a Bobby's, like, what is it?
Oh, the
Bobby
book thing?
Singer's Guide to Hunting. Yeah.
Okay.
And then this is pronounced...
Is Anansi the one who's, like, a spider?
Yes. Huehue Coyotl, which is an Aztec god of mischief.
Okay.
Who appears in Supernatural Coyote's Kiss, which is the 8th tie-in novel.
I'm sorry. The what?
The 8th tie-in novel.
Oh,
it is revealed as a previously unseen adventure for the Winchester brothers that takes place during season 6 of the show.
Stop.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
What?
When a truck full of illegal Mexican immigrants is found by the side of the road, the occupants slaughtered with violent and unnatural force, Sam and Dean are compelled to investigate, guided by tattooed, pistol-packing bandita on a motorcycle, Xochi Cazadora.
You're lying.
I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but I do know it's pronounced Xochi. The brothers are plunged into the terrifying world of Aztec deities and monsters.
No! No! Weren't we already problematic enough? That didn't need to happen!
I think I have to read this book now, Haley.
I think we might need to read all of the tie-in novels.
We're gonna have to read all of the tie-in novels.
God.
Oh my god.
I would have lived my life perfectly fine not knowing that there were... How many tie-in novels are there? Is it just 8? Or is there over 8?
Hold on. Shush.
Oh
Supernatural tie-in novels. Supernatural tie-ins. Okay, hold on. Oh no.
Oh god.
Okay, so we have the anime series.
Yes.
We have 24 comic books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 18 tie-in novels, but one is exclusive to Germany. And then there are
Hold on! Wait, no, rewind!
Books.
Rewind!
Rewind to what?
Why is one exclusive to Germany?
I I don't know. It just says exclusive to Germany next to it on the other Supernatural Wikipedia page. It's a German language book published by VGS following the first 4 episodes of season 1, almost to the letter, by even taking dialogue straight from the episode. Then why is it existing? It's like those like novellas of like children's movies that are literally just the movie in type form.
Right.
You know, like the High School Musical
ones?
I
was literally about to say the High School Musical ones.
Nice. Yeah, so then there's 7 official companions. The Supernatural Book of Monsters, Spirits, Demons, and Ghouls. Supernatural John Winchester's Journal. Bobby Singer's Guide to Hunting. The Essential Supernatural on the Road with Sam and Dean Winchester. The Men of Letters Bestiary. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 role-playing games.
Stop. Really?
Official magazine, and then they have the media and websites. What?
Can we play the Supernatural RPG?
Sure.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, yes. I can make Joey DM it for us.
Jesus Christ. Jeez, we were talking about lore. Holy shit, we got off track.
I think that this was still very important lore to discuss.
It was informative, that's for sure. Since there is... Hold on. So there is Anansi Huehuecoyotl. I think I already mispronounced it wrong. That's... double negative. Loki and Ishu? I don't know Ishu. Hold on. Which is another one just from the tie-in books, but there's no page. To Yoruba. Why not? Why not just keep taking things from other cultures? But the issue with these are 4? Did I count that right? Yeah. These are 4 different gods from 4 distinct cultures.
Well,
and mythologies. Well, I'm not saying that they can't all be real, although I will argue that Supernatural doesn't know how to balance multiple pantheons. Mm-hmm. From what I can tell, Anansi, it says family for Anansi and it says God. And because of the way Supernatural works, I have to assume that means the Christian God, which is very questionable. For people who don't know, Anansi is Ashanti. I believe I should look this up. I've talked about no, I haven't. I was gonna say I've talked about Anansi in Supernatural before.
I thought you had.
I might have, but I've actually talked about it more in regards to Miraculous Ladybug.
Huh?
There is a one of the characters who gets akumatized becomes Anansi.
Like, why not? Right?
Yeah. So,
when you become a god, when you become a trickster god.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was just taking the name, but it was very questionable. But we're not here to talk about Miraculous Ladybug. Anyway, we're not. Anansi comes from it's like a pretty large group, but it's around the area of Ghana, that part of Africa. So I don't agree with saying the family is the Christian God. Supernatural doesn't know how to deal with having all these pantheons because Odin gets killed by Lucifer, according to this. This happens in season 13, I assume. So it's very confusing.
Oh my god, sorry. I don't believe that Satan gets brought into this.
Literally. I don't think that any of these tricksters should be able to be killed by a stick with some blood on it. They're all gods. They're all gods in their own right. They're not a lower supernatural being. So it doesn't make sense that they can be killed by, no offense, something so simple. If Gabriel can't be killed by this, why would Loki be killed by this? He constantly has poison dripping into his eyes, even though, according to this, that isn't a thing that should be happening. But we haven't met Loki, so it doesn't matter.
Well, we actually don't know
it doesn't make sense.
We don't know if Gabriel can or cannot be killed by this, because, technically, the thing that Dean stabbed was not Gabriel. It was...
That's true. That's true. I will say that I did go on the Trickster page. It looks like that they have very similar things to angels, frankly. Tricksters are very powerful beings capable of warping reality. Their power is not on par with archangels, but it's close enough that they got confused. Right. Immortality, invulnerability, highly advanced trick reality warping, conjuration, shapeshifting, telekinesis, super strength. That's pretty on par with some of the big angel ones.
But then here's the thing, though. Like, are these things just on the Supernatural Wiki because the only trickster we have is Gabriel, who isn't actually a trickster? Like,
that's the question, isn't it? Because I can only assume, like, there is a page for the Aztec god Coyotl. I already forget, but it doesn't, like, it says I haven't read this book, so the stub or whatever these are called on the wiki are not that detailed. But Anansi, I haven't read that book either, but it sounds like that it's pretty similar, but that book came out in 2011 or something, I think. The Coyote's Trail, is that what it's called?
I think that was it.
And then Bobby Singer's Guide to Hunting also came out in 2011. So, like, multiple years after this and after it was revealed that I think he was an angel. So I don't know if they had a plan for what tricksters would have been like. Because I don't know if they ever planned to show a real trickster in this show.
Why not, right?
Because Loki didn't show up until season 13, and having not watched season 13, if I had to take a wild fucking guess, I would argue that they probably brought back Loki because fans really, really liked Loki and had been asking for him to come back for literal years.
The show makes me insane.
Yeah, so this was a confusing lore library, but only because this is a very confusing, because I would argue they don't even realize that he's an angel because, or Loki, because they, like, compare and contrast and, like, logically figure it out. I think he has to tell them that they're Gabriel because they have no other frame of reference.
Hi.
So it just leaves it all very confused.
And
I guess I now have to order about 3,000 books. Haley,
no!
You need to do a little crowdfund so I can order some books.
Can't we just go to see if they're at Barnes and Noble? Like, just sit in Barnes and Noble?
And what? Sit in Barnes and Noble for 3 days while reading the Supernatural books?
Yes, we can tell them it's for a podcast.
I'm sure they'll let us do that. Here, you talk about whatever's next. I'm going to look up the Supernatural tie-in books.
Alright, so after Taya's Lore Library is crack shipping, to which I have to say, I don't have one for this episode. Sorry.
Hold on. Now I have to search up something else, because I'm trying to remember.
While Taya searches up something else, I will tell you what could be crack shipping. The two prostitutes who weren't real.
The ones who don't exist.
They don't exist, but, okay. I mean, they could be lesbians, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel,
I will say
Gabriel and Dean. That's a crack ship. Surely there's stuff about that.
Hold on. I'm on the AO3. So Gabriel and Dean has 1,035.
That's like a lot.
Haley, I think it's not a crack ship, but I think you forgot something very important. So obviously Supernatural has a zillion fics ever. So it has 267,000. Okay. But it was a rare pair back in the day because I remember people talking about it.
Dead ass?
Gabe and Sam, 14,000.
Whoa!
Did you never hear about that?
So many!
I know. 14,389.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Supernatural amazes me. Well,
it would be more interesting if we could do some there's so many ships you can make and all of them have men and are men. There's just no women in this show.
Right.
It's
oh my god. Well, do you have what you were looking up? Or shall I continue?
I was just looking up. First of all, I want to say that they did not try at all with these book covers. You should look up the Supernatural books. They look just like another photo shoot for this show, right?
Really?
Like they just look like another. I'll send you one. It looks like it's just a poster, frankly.
All right.
It's like two guys. They're standing in front of a road.
Help! Nevermore.
Nevermore.
Goodreads.
Yeah, on Goodreads it says there's 17.
Shut up right now.
17. And on Kindle I can get it for $8.
Wow. $8 for
$8.99 for the Supernatural book? It is unavailable for pickup at my nearest Barnes & Noble.
Lame. Well, that's because they're like when you go to the school library and you're not allowed to like take out like the atlas, you have to like read it there.
Oh yeah.
It's because that's how they're treated at Barnes & Noble.
Fordham University, the Bronx, New York, Sunday the 12th, November 2006. A chill November breeze blew John Soder's hair into his face. Mother Nature's reminder to get a haircut in absence of his actual mother being around to nag him about it. She was back in Ohio where it was safe, and also 10 degrees colder than it was here in the Bronx.
What are you reading me right now?
Nevermore.
No.
Who are these guys? Who are John and Kevin? Oh, wait, nope, we're back to Sam and Dean. Never mind.
Okay, all right.
They're in Indiana, in case you were curious. Anyway.
Now I am so curious, but it's fine. Today's episode was brought to you by... Hold on. I have to let you know the answer to that, but I am finishing a friendship bracelet knot. Hold on. Today's episode was brought to you by Lady in Red by Chris DeBerg.
How did you say that?
DeBerg.
Okay. I was going to say DeBerg, but okay. And this week's episode is brought to you by Next to You by Junk Food, because I think that's a great band name.
Junk Food. That's good.
Yeah.
My favorite wiki today, my favorite Wikipedia thing, is in the continuity section. Sam's laptop gets frozen on bustyasianbeauties.com, which links directly to the official Warner Brothers website. This also marks the first mention of busty Asian beauties, which became a recurring joke in future episodes as a supposed interest of Dean's. This is my favorite Wikipedia entry for multiple reasons. Number 1. The fact that bustyasianbeauties.com is a real website domain that does actually lead to the Warner Brothers website, as tested by Taya just today on August 15th, 2022.
Yeah, whatever page, it brings you to like /landing, which isn't anything, but it does technically bring you to the Warner Brothers page. It's just like, this page doesn't exist. And I wouldn't be surprised if like their landing page never really existed. They were just like, direct it to us, whatever.
Which is funny. But also, Dean's weird porn interest that now will be referenced forever in the show.
And
his weird fetishization of Asians.
Asian women, is there more than one Asian woman in this show?
I don't think so.
Because there's Kevin's mom?
Yeah, I was gonna say Kevin's mom.
This show sucks.
But that's mine.
My favorite thing on the wiki is under international titles this week.
Oh.
Finally, we're back to the international titles. And it's actually the last one. It's the Hungarian title, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. But it translates to the thimble rigger. And I was curious because all of the other ones are very similar to English or very similar to each other. So we have like The Incredible Tales, Exaggerated, Enemy Brothers, Tricks and Legends, Unbelievable Stories, Incredible Stories, blah, blah, blah. We get it.
Uh-huh.
But this is the thimble rigger, which I looked up, and apparently it means a swindling trick in which a small ball or pea is quickly shifted from under one to another of 3 small cups to fool a spectator guessing its location. First of all, I didn't know that's what that was called.
That's so fun.
Like, everyone knows that game. Like, we've all seen it. It's just where you have 3 cups and something is under and you move it around and you're like, where was it? But, it's called Thimble Rig. That's what that's actually called, apparently. But I think that's, like, a really cool title for this episode.
I agree.
Great job, Hungarian translators. I think that's a really fun one.
Thanks, Hungary. My rating for this episode today. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Today's rating is a solid 10 alien slow dances out of 10. Listen, am I blinded by the fact that I love Gabriel? Perhaps.
Yeah.
But I loved the camera work. I thought the goofs were pretty solid. I could go as far as to say that this was a 9.8 or just a 9, but given with how many gifable, like, not even gifable, but like infamous gifs from this episode and the writing, the fact that what's his face has popped off and given us an actual good episode, which I said our track record has not been good. Let me go into detail about how our track record has not been good. John Chabon, he wrote Skin, which I did not give an official rating to because I didn't start giving ratings until episode 10. But
we didn't
the rating
like it.
Wouldn't have been good. John Chabon wrote Hookman, which has a... I also didn't rate that one because that was before I started rating things.
We were disappointed in that one,
but I was disappointed in it. But then we get to Scarecrow, which, okay, Scarecrow had a 9, but we only liked that because of Meg.
We thought back on it and we're like, why did we give that a 9?
Right. The Benders had a 0.7, which is our lowest rated episode in Supernatural so far.
That we've rated. Bugs was really bad too. We didn't rate Bugs.
Bugs was really bad. I hated Bugs. And then Dead Man's Blood was a 1. Everybody Loves a Clown was a 2. Croatoan was a 3. And this was a 10. How do you do it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So on IMDb, this episode has a 9.1 out of 10.
It deserves it.
For the most part, it's all 8, 9, 10s. Pretty, like, even back in the day, TM, it was... And now, people really like this one. They think it's funny. They think it's one of the best in this episode, in this season, in this show. They think it's really funny. And I would argue, like, I have like throwaway lines that I don't like for the most part, but like,
right, like Dean calling Sam a pansy.
That, and like when Dean comes in and sees the girls on the stage, Gabriel says something, they're like, oh, they're a peace offering. And like they're not real, but it's still a very weird thing to say. But like, I give it a little bit of a pass because it is 2007, and I know it's not that long ago, but like we have, as a society, changed what is acceptable.
Listen, it's not that long ago, but I'm 23, and that was 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's most of my life.
Mm-hmm. This one from 2011 from Zombie High 18 gave it a 7 out of 10, and says that they don't like the trickster, even though a lot of people do.
Wow.
And they say that the guy is nice, I can't deny, but he bothers me a lot. He seems to just enjoy toying with people's lives to a great extent and not bothering what it does. I know most villains on this show pretty much do the same, but for someone who watched the show up till literally the last episode aired in 2011, I may have hated him because of season 3's mystery spot.
Stop. This person's just mad that he killed Dean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like it. But like, the point of a trickster, sometimes trickster gods have mythology where like the story teaches a lesson, but a lot of times the point is they're just fucking up things.
They're just funny. Goofs. They're just being quirky.
That's literally it. This person thinks they broke something laughing.
That's good.
This one was interesting. This one is from JBS64 from February 2007.
You know what that stands for?
What?
Just babysitting.
Great, thank you. This one was interesting because it says, yes, the good old days of Mulder and Scully. Writer John Chabon's Tall Tales episode couldn't be any more X-Files. For those of you who remember writer Vince Gilligan's X-Files episode Bad Blood, you will detect the similarities.
I do remember that episode.
I haven't watched X-Files. John Chabon wrote some of X-Files' best episodes.
Oh.
Dreamland 1 and 2, Field Trip. They're also listing the other writers. The Pine Bluff variant, Monday and Malargo. Vince Gilligan also wrote some fantastic ones, etc. Yeah, so this person wanted to get Eric Kripke to get Shaban, Gilligan, and Spotnitz back together in the writer's room, but I did not know that he wrote for X-Files, or that people liked those episodes, because I have not liked Shaban's episodes.
Yeah, neither have we. I
thought that was interesting because I didn't realize that this guy has like a pretty solid career in writing for this genre. If you can argue X-Files and Supernatural have a similar genre, but this was the first time we've liked something he wrote.
Well, I know that like on the hold on, I have to go back to the right page. Hold on. I'm so sorry. The director Bradford May directed episodes of The Twilight Zone. So that was interesting to me, but I don't know anything about here nor there, but what episodes.
Yeah, I think that maybe this episode just got lucky.
I think it just got lucky, and it's because Gabriel was there. Sorry.
I think it's still a good episode if you don't like Gabriel, but I definitely think it is a standout in John Shaban's work, and I would not be surprised if we watch his last episode, Folsom Prison Blues, and don't like it.
I will tell you.
Watching it in a few weeks.
I will tell you right now, though. I did look at the Wikipedia page, and it is about a ghost. So.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it'll be good.
It doesn't mean it'll be good, but I do remember the episode after reading the like teaser description.
Do you think it's good?
I don't remember. I just remember the episode. I just cool. I remember the episode and I remember the concept. Do I remember if it's good? No.
Cool.
Yeah. So, Taya, closing remarks.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much for listening to Hatrusa. We are everywhere at Hatrusa, so remember to follow us elsewhere. We will be posting updates, and I will be posting screenshots and whatever I can think of to keep our Twitter a little bit more alive.
I probably won't, because I don't check
Haley
Twitter.
That's for the best. You can remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, retweet, reblog, whatever. Tell people about this show. Leave a rating. Leave a review. It really helps us out. We don't advertise in any way, and we're very bad at Twitter. And people don't give a shit about Supernatural anymore, except for the very small portion of people who do. Who I'm not gonna say they wouldn't all like this show, but it's maybe a little bit more critical than they might be interested in. So if you think anyone would like it, please share. Please tell them about it. You can just put us on in the background and we will never know. We will not judge you for just using us as background noise while you do chores.
I think I would really appreciate that, because then it's like we're like little chore buddies.
Exactly.
But we're not friends, because that's parasocial.
Yes, so yeah, help us out so we can get a few more listeners.
Yeah. Hey, Taya.
Hey, Haley.
Ghosts? Ghosts?
Ghosts?
Ghosts?
Finally for you, ghosts.
For me, ghosts for me.
Ghosts for you.
We'll find out next episode if that's actually some good ghosts or not.
Yep.
But we'll have to catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.